Today in Health Check, America got a shocking medical education during last night's Buffalo Bills NFL game after player Damar Hamlin collapsed on the field. It happened seconds after a hit to his chest, and medical teams frantically performed CPR, fighting to save his life. Hamlin is still in critical condition. Joining us now is Dr. Elise Kuykendall with Primary Health Partners. Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Well, we should start with, we don't know exactly what happened internally. They're still looking at that. But how can a hit to the heart affect someone in such a way that it seemingly could cause cardiac arrest?
Yeah, so actually in blunt sports or in blunt trauma, there is a phenomenon called commotio cordis, where it actually causes compression to the heart through the chest wall, and it can lead to a cardiac arrhythmia that is called ventricular fibrillation, and that then can lead to cardiac arrest.
And apparently the process of that actually happening is very rare. Tell us why.
Very rare, so it actually has to happen within a 20 millisecond window of the cardiac cycle. It has to be at precisely the right moment in the cardiac cycle and at precisely the right location on the chest wall for it to actually occur.
When it does happen, we saw that they gave him CPR for 10 minutes, but how difficult is it to save a life, and can they recover fully afterwards?
They can recover, and it is a survivable incident, and they can recover as long as treatment is started right away. So early treatment is key, so CPR right away is very important, and being able to recognize what's going on is very important as well. Also having an AED, which is a device that can shock the heart back into appropriate rhythm, is going to be very important at any sporting event in case something like this happens, because the faster we can get the heart back into appropriate rhythm, the faster we get appropriate blood supply and oxygen to the brain and other organs.
Right, and that's something that they would have had on the ambulance, but not right there on the field, so rules could be changing after this.
Right.
So, you know, the longer a person remains unconscious, the more problems they could have with brain damage. Is that a concern?
Oh, for sure. It's absolutely a concern. But again, that's why early treatment is so key in getting the appropriate blood supply to prevent that, for sure.
How is cardiac arrest different from a heart attack?
Yeah, so that's a very important question and a good one to know the difference between. So a heart attack actually happens when the arteries that supply the muscle of the heart become clogged. And when they become clogged, then the muscle of the heart itself can die. And then that, in turn, can lead to arrhythmias and cardiac arrest. Where in this case, it was the actual blunt trauma that caused the cardiac arrest and not any issues with the blood vessels that supplied Mr. Hamlin's heart.
Okay. Any other scenarios in this case that could explain his collapse?
For sure. There's also with blunt traumas, you can have something called a pericardial tamponade, which is if the anatomy of the heart is actually, if there's a rent in the anatomy and there's bleeding or fluid leaking into the sac around the heart, if that becomes full enough, it can actually cause compression of the heart itself and lead to cardiac arrest. That we would see after a longer period of time, where his was so sudden. His is more likely the commotio cordis.
Okay. Thank you for shedding some light on that. Of course, we wish him the best and hope for his full recovery ahead.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Kuykendall with Primary Health Partners. And still ahead.